He looked like just another homeless man, holding his baby in the freezing cold. I felt sorry for them, so I invited them to stay in my house for the night. But when I woke up the next morning, I found something in my living room that completely changed everything I thought I knew. I still can't believe what happened. I provided shelter to a homeless dad and his baby. What happened the next morning left me stunned. My name is Emily, and I'm 30 years old. I've been working from home ever since Ryan and I decided to start trying for a baby. I remember the exact moment my life fell apart. It all unraveled in one day. The rain poured down relentlessly that night, each drop hitting the pavement like tiny needles, reflecting the pain inside me. I walked through the city streets, my heart heavy from the recent breakup with Ryan. It was a hurt I had never known before, the kind that hollowed you out from within. The doctor's words kept echoing in my mind. "You're infertile, Emily. You will never have biological children." I hadn't fully processed those words when Ryan told me he couldn't stay. He left me the same day, turning an already painful wound into something unbearable. He had promised forever, but I guess forever had conditions. As I wandered aimlessly through the streets, lost in my grief, I passed a narrow alley and saw a man sitting against a cold brick wall, cradling a small baby in his arms. Something inside me tightened. The sight of a father and his child, alone in the night, made my own pain feel oddly distant. Our eyes met and I saw fear and desperation in his. I couldn't just walk past them. "Hello," I said softly, stepping closer. "Do you need help?" He hesitated, his arms tightening around the baby. After a long pause he nodded. "My name is John," he murmured, his voice barely a whisper, "and this is Lily." "I'm Emily." I introduced myself gently. "Why don't you come with me? I have a spare room. You and Lily can stay the night." John looked uncertain. "Are you sure? We don't want to be a burden." "You're not a burden," I assured him, my voice kind but firm. "Please let me help." The baby stirred in his arms, letting out a soft sleepy coo that seemed to fill the emptiness in my heart. That small sound, so full of life, made my apartment feel warm for the first time in a long while. That night, over steaming cups of tea, John told me a bit about his life. He had lost his job, then his home, and when Lily was born her mother had left them both behind. He was doing his best, but the world had been unkind. As I listened, something shifted inside me. I had been drowning in my own sorrow, convinced my life was over, but here was a man fighting every day for his daughter. Maybe I wasn't as lost as I thought. Lying in bed that night, I stared at the ceiling and whispered to myself, maybe my life still has a purpose. The next morning I woke to the sound of Lily's laughter, bright, soft, and filled with joy. It was a sound that brought life into the walls of my apartment. I found John in the kitchen, awkwardly trying to make breakfast while balancing Lily on one arm. "Good morning," I greeted, surprised by the warmth in my voice. "Good morning," he said, flashing a shy smile. "I hope you don't mind. I wanted to make something." "Not at all," I said, stepping forward to help. Together we prepared a simple meal. As we sat at the table, something about it felt right. Lily, with her bright eyes and tiny smile, unknowingly filled the emptiness inside me. Days passed, and without realizing it, John and Lily became part of my routine. John spoke about finding work and getting back on his feet, but I insisted they stay until he was ready. At first, I told myself it was for their sake, but deep down, I knew the truth. I needed them just as much as they needed me. One evening after Lily had fallen asleep, John and I sat by the fireplace. The soft glow of the flames cast shadows on his face as he talked about his past, his struggles, fears, and hopes for Lily's future. I felt a deep, unshakable need to protect them. "You don't have to do this alone," I told him, my voice steady. "Let me help you." His eyes shimmered with emotion. "Why are you being so good to us?" I exhaled slowly, feeling my own emotions rise to the surface. "Because I know what it's like to feel hopeless," I admitted, "and somehow, you and Lily have given me a reason to keep going." That night as I lay in bed, I realized something. My pain wasn't gone, but it no longer felt suffocating. John and Lily were bringing light into my life, moment by moment, week after week. What was once temporary became something permanent. We shared meals, laughter, and quiet moments that spoke volumes. Every day I found myself eager to come home, excited to see Lily's bright smile and hear John's voice. One crisp autumn afternoon we took Lily to the park. The trees had turned brilliant shades of red and gold, their leaves crunching beneath our feet. Lily squealed with delight as she tossed handfuls of leaves into the air, her laughter ringing through the cool air. "She's full of life," I said, watching her with a smile. "She is," John agreed, his gaze soft as he looked at his daughter. Then he turned to me. "Thank you, Emily. I don't know where we'd be without you." I shook my head. "I should be the one thanking you. You and Lily have brought so much happiness into my life." John reached out and took my hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. "We're in this together," he said quietly. "We can lean on each other." Something shifted in my heart at those words. It wasn't just gratitude anymore, it was something more. As time passed, we grew closer. John found a job at a local bakery and I happily watched over Lily while he worked. My days were filled with her laughter, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I had a purpose. One evening after dinner, John looked at me seriously. "Emily, I want to help with the rent and expenses. You've done so much for us and I want to contribute." I smiled, shaking my head. "You don't have to worry about that, just having you here is enough for me." "But I insist," he said firmly. "I need to feel like I'm contributing, not just receiving." I saw the determination in his eyes, the need to reclaim his independence. I understood it and respected it. Finally, we settled on a small amount. When I saw the relief in his expression, I knew it was the right choice, not just for him but for both of us. Somehow, without planning it, we had built something, a life, a home, a quiet, unspoken understanding. As I watched Lily drift off to sleep that night, her tiny hand curled around my finger, I realized something else. Maybe love didn't always come in the way you expected. Maybe sometimes it found you in the middle of your darkest night, offering you a reason to keep going. And maybe, just maybe, this was only the beginning. Winter settled over our home, wrapping the world in a thick blanket of snow. With it, our bond deepened in ways I never imagined possible. Every evening after Lily had fallen asleep, John and I would sit by the fireplace, sharing stories and dreams over steaming mugs of hot chocolate. The flickering flames cast warm golden light across the room, making the space feel even cozier. There was a quiet intimacy in those moments, an unspoken understanding that we had become more than just two people brought together by circumstance. We were something real, something lasting. One particularly cold night, the snow piled high against the windows, muffling the sounds of the city beyond. The fire crackled softly, filling the silence as John hesitated, his fingers tracing the rim of his cup. I could tell he had something on his mind. "Emily, can I ask you something?" His voice was low, uncertain. I turned to him, my heart picking up speed. "Of course," I said gently. He exhaled as if steadying himself. "Do you ever think about the future? About us?" I swallowed, feeling warmth spread through me, not from the fire but from his words. My fingers instinctively reached for his. "Every day," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. His gaze locked onto mine, searching. "Emily, you and Lily have become my whole world. I don't know what I'd do without you." Emotion swelled in my chest, making my throat tighten. I squeezed his hand. "I feel the same way, John. I can't imagine my life without you either." His eyes glistened in the firelight, and for a moment, he looked as if he might cry. "I was afraid to say it," he confessed, his voice breaking slightly. "I didn't want to ruin what we have." I shook my head, my heart aching at the vulnerability in his voice. "You could never ruin this," I whispered, and before I could second-guess myself I leaned in, pressing my forehead against his. The kiss that followed was soft and full of unspoken promises, a quiet acknowledgement of everything we had built together. When we pulled away, he rested his head against my shoulder. I wrapped my arms around him, holding him close. We sat like that for a long time, wrapped in warmth, not just from the fire but from the love that had blossomed between us. In the months that followed, everything changed. My once silent, empty home became a place filled with laughter, love, and the comforting aroma of John's cooking. Lily's giggles echoed through the halls, and I found myself smiling more than I had in years. I no longer felt like I was simply existing. I was living, truly and fully. One crisp autumn afternoon, after a dinner filled with warmth and laughter, we sat together in the living room. Lily lay on a soft blanket happily stacking colorful blocks while John and I curled up on the couch, our hands intertwined. The fire crackled softly, casting a golden glow over us. "I've been thinking," I murmured, breaking the peaceful silence. John glanced at me, curiosity flickering in his eyes. "About what?" I took a deep breath, gathering my thoughts. "About the future, about us." He smiled, but I could see the emotion in his gaze. "I know we've been through so much," I continued. "But I can't imagine my life without you and Lily. You give me a reason to wake up in the morning, a purpose I thought I had lost forever." John's grip on my hand tightened, his expression turning serious. "You've done the same for us, Emily. You've given us a home, stability, and so much love. I never thought I'd feel this kind of happiness again." I took a shaky breath, my heart pounding. "I want to make it official. I want us to be a real family." John's lips parted slightly, his eyes widening as if he hadn't dared to hope for those words. He exhaled slowly, then turned fully to face me, his free hand coming up to cup mine. "Emily?" he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I never thought I could have everything I've ever dreamed of, but then you found me in Lily. You made me realize that family isn't just about blood, it's about love. About showing up for each other every single day. You brought more light into my life than I ever thought possible." He paused, his thumb gently brushing against my skin. "I want to be the one who stands by your side through everything for the rest of our lives. I want to take care of you and Lily." My breath caught as realization dawned. John reached into his pocket, pulling out a small velvet box. My hand flew to my mouth as he opened it, revealing a delicate ring. A simple but beautiful symbol of the love we had built together. "So, Emily," he whispered, his voice trembling slightly, "will you marry me?" Tears blurred my vision, and for a moment, I couldn't speak. The love in his eyes, the warmth of his touch, the way Lily's soft giggles filled the room, it was everything I had ever wanted but never dared to hope for. "Yes," I finally managed, my voice breaking. "Yes, John, I will marry you." The moment he slid the ring onto my finger, he pulled me into his arms, holding me tightly as if he never wanted to let go. Lily, sensing the joy in the air, crawled toward us, babbling happily. We both laughed, wrapping her into our embrace. It was a perfectly imperfect moment. The next few months became a blur of wedding plans. We wanted something small and intimate, surrounded by the people who had witnessed our journey. It was beautiful to see how much love and support surrounded us. On a perfect spring day under a canopy of blooming flowers we stood, hand in hand in a quaint garden. The air smelled of fresh blossoms and the soft of laughter and quiet conversation filled the space. Lily, dressed in an adorable white dress with a tiny flower crown atop her curls, toddled around making everyone smile. John stood across from me in a simple yet elegant suit. His eyes locked onto mine with a love so deep it took my breath away. I felt like I had stepped into a dream. My dress was ethereal, flowing around me like a soft cloud, and my natural curls framed my face just the way they were meant to. As we exchanged vows, my heart swelled with a happiness I had never known before. This was a new beginning, and as John leaned in to kiss me, sealing our promises, I knew that this was exactly where I was meant to be. As I stood there, my hand tightly clasped in John's, I thought about everything that had led us to this moment. The hardships, the unexpected turns, and the quiet moments of hope that had brought us here. From that stormy night when our paths first crossed to this bright, joyous day, our journey had been anything but easy. Yet, as I looked into his eyes, I realized how much beauty had come from our struggles. The pain we had endured had deepened our love, making it even more profound. Through every trial we had discovered unexpected blessings and an unwavering infinite love. John's voice trembled with emotion as he spoke, his fingers tightening around mine. "I promise to love you and take care of you, Emily," he said, his words carrying the weight of every hardship we had overcome. "And I promise to be the best father I can be to Lily. You two have brought light into my life, and I will always make sure you know how much you mean to me." Tears welled in my eyes as I responded, my voice barely above a whisper. "I promise to stand by your side through everything, John. You're the love I never expected, and together we'll build a beautiful future for Lily and for us." The officiant's voice rang out, clear and steady, sealing our vows. "I now pronounce you husband and wife." As soon as the words were spoken, John leaned in, capturing my lips in a kiss that was tender yet full of unspoken promises. In that moment, the world around us melted away. There was no past, no pain, only the future stretching out before us, bright and full of hope. The cheers of our friends and family surrounded us, and as we pulled apart, I saw Lily clapping excitedly, her little face beaming with happiness. She couldn't understand the enormity of this moment, but she could feel it. The love, the joy, the sense of belonging that we had all longed for. With Lily between us, John and I walked down the aisle hand in hand, hearts intertwined. A deep sense of gratitude filled me. Life had tested us in so many ways, but through every challenge we had only grown stronger. John and Lily had not just become a part of my life, they had transformed it, turning grief into hope and loneliness into belonging. Our new life together was not without its challenges, but we faced them with the same love and resilience that had brought us to this point. Not long after our wedding, an unexpected opportunity came our way. The owner of the small bakery where John had been working decided to retire, and recognizing John's dedication and talent, he offered him the chance to take over the business. It was an offer John had never imagined receiving, but with determination and hard work, he made it his own. The bakery became more than just a place of work, it was a symbol of everything John had built, not just for himself but for us. Each morning the scent of fresh bread and pastries filled the air, drawing in customers who had become like family. John poured his heart into every recipe, every loaf of bread, every carefully crafted treat, knowing that through his passion he was providing for our family. And in the evenings when he returned home tired but fulfilled, he would scoop Lily into his arms and kiss me softly, reminding me that no matter how busy life became, his love for us was unwavering. Lily continued to grow, her laughter filling every corner of our home. She was curious and full of energy, always exploring, always asking questions. Some days she would sit on the counter at the bakery watching John work with wide, fascinated eyes. Other days she would run barefoot through the garden, her little giggles drifting through the air like music. One quiet afternoon as we sat on the porch watching Lily chase butterflies in the fading sunlight, John reached for my hand. His touch was warm, grounding me in the moment. He turned to me, his gaze filled with something deeper than gratitude, something that spoke of a love that had only grown stronger over time. "Emily," he murmured, his thumb gently brushing over my knuckles. "Thank you for everything, for taking us in, for loving us, for giving us a future I never dared to dream of." I felt my heart swell at his words. I had once thought I was the one saving them, but in reality they had saved me just as much. I smiled, squeezing his hand. "I should be the one thanking you, John. You and Lily saved me. You gave me a reason to live, to love again." He leaned in, pressing a soft kiss to my temple. I closed my eyes, savoring the warmth of the moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, I knew with absolute certainty that no matter what the future held, we would face it together. We had built something beautiful, something unbreakable. We were a family. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.